Good evening, everyone. I am Croft, and I will be presenting a strategic plan for the Pigotts Primary School entitled Raising the Floor and the Ceiling of Reading Literacy. You might be asking, why raise the floor and ceiling of reading literacy? And I will say to you that reading is a fundamental skill which aids in comprehension and allows individuals to understand events and things around them. As we raise the reading competence of students in the lower tier of the class, all other students move up as well from the floor to the ceiling. My presentation looks briefly at the background of the school, the SWOT analysis and rationale for the strategic plan, the vision, mission, goal, objective, strategies to the implementation of this plan, the budget, benefits of the plan, limitations to the plan, and concluding statements. Background of the school. The school is a rural public primary school established in 1973. Its present student population is 197, 97 boys, 100 girls. The school operates in a poor economic area. Many students reside in single-parent households with the mother as the head, and support is provided by siblings and other family members. The mothers do not visit the school regularly and will come only when asked. Stylianites and Stylianites 2010 note that children who receive the least interaction tend to be in so low socioeconomic families, and this has implications for student academic performance. The staff complement stands at 22 teachers, 14 trained, 5 untrained. One of the trained teachers is a librarian who presently operates as a classroom teacher. 2 itinerant teachers, Spanish and counseling services, 1 secretary, 3 ancillary staff members, and 1 parent assistant to a teacher. The competition in the area comes from 3 privately run primary schools. And the results of the national assessments for grades 2, 4, and 6 show students' reading levels are declining. From this background, we looked at a SWOT analysis, the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to the school. Let's look at them individually. The strengths. 75% of the teachers are trained to teach the 4 core areas of the curriculum, and great communication links exist between the school, home, and community groups. Weaknesses. 25% of the teachers are untrained and they lack the pedagogical skills to teach reading. The limited number of parents who attend school activities can be seen. The opportunities. Professional development offerings from the Ministry of Education in reading and support for students with learning challenges. Threats. 25% of the teachers are untrained and weakens the teaching structure. And financial allocations and policies related to the direction for education change depending on the political directorate. And I must add here that noise from the aircraft approaching and taking off from the airport threatens teaching and learning. Rationale for the strategic plan. Students are not reading effectively and teachers are not meeting their needs. Rowe and Smith 2012 contend that if students are to overcome their challenges, it requires teachers to utilize best practices while catering to students' educational needs. Medwell et al. 1998 also advised that teachers should know and understand the components of reading before they begin to teach students. This is instructive and can be seen from the next points where we see the results for the 2015 grade 2 and 4 national assessments in language arts. So for the grade 2 results, 2015, we observed that 41% of the students received grades between 41 and 60%. And in 2016, 50% of the students received grades between 41 and 60%. Likewise, at the grade 4 level for the Language Arts National Assessment in 2015, we saw 42% of the students receiving grades between 41 and 60%. We go down to the next point. 25% of the teachers are untrained and they are required to teach the core areas and also reading, and they lack the pedagogical skills to do so. Although 75% of the teachers are trained, we see that the students are still struggling to read competently. Ferguson and Ladd in 1996 support the need for qualified teachers in student learning and achievement. Let's look at the strategic plan going forward. In order to implement, we need to find out about the vision, the mission, and the goals. So, what is the vision? The vision is to provide a vibrant and stimulating environment where every child succeeds. The mission, to provide opportunities for each student to achieve his or her best by the development of knowledge, attitudes, and skills essential to successful achievement in school and society. And from this mission, the goal was generated to improve reading literacy across levels from kindergarten to grade 6. From the goal, 5 objectives were generated, and I will just touch briefly on 3 of them with their strategies. Objective 1, to improve accountability and continuity in the teaching of reading. And how will this be done? The teachers will be encouraged to utilize the Bert Vernon reading test at the beginning and the end of the school year. By doing this, they are tracking the children's reading ability and they are helping them to improve upon it. As the children progress through the grades, their records and transition notes will follow them to the next teacher, and the teacher will continue to build on their reading strengths and weaknesses. Then we're going to invest in a reading program for struggling students at all levels. Objective 3, to encourage teachers to be creative and innovative in their classroom teaching and learning. And how will this be done? The principal will become the instructional leader and conduct one-on-one conferences with teachers. The teachers will be encouraged to utilize creative ways in the teaching of phonics. They're going to utilize Skype to build communities of practice and share best practices, and utilize ICTs in all subject disciplines. Objective 4, to develop an appreciation and love for reading within all levels. Teachers will be encouraged to put a library period into the class schedule. They are going to provide incentives and prizes to students who perform creditably in their reading. There's going to be a formation of a comfy cushion club to encourage a love of reading, and the student council will be encouraged to do so. The operating budget. We're looking at a revenue of $11,300 generated from the school dress-up days, parent association assistance, the reading fair, and private donations. And the expenses will be $14,600. This will be distributed across supplies, professional development, workshops for teachers and parents, purchasing of prizes for students, educational materials for classrooms, and purchasing of the reading program. We will ask the Ministry of Education to assist in this regard. The benefits and limitations. There are several benefits to be derived from the implementation of this plan. And one such benefit is that teachers and the school capacity will be upgraded in order to support the literacy program. And Croft 2000 makes mention of this. Also, to expose teachers to current trends in education in respect of best practices and effective literacy strategies and programs. And the limitations, teachers may resist the plan because of the amount of work involved, and the government might reduce its budgetary allocations for necessary material and equipment. So what of our conclusion? The school is witnessing a decline in the reading abilities of its students due to socioeconomic factors and teachers' lack of pedagogical skills in the teaching of reading. This plan, when implemented, will result in students' reading ability increasing by 20% by the year 2020. Thank you for listening and viewing the presentation.